Alright people, you know what today is? It's going to be prep day. So we're going to start here with some potatoes. Basically I eat the sweet potatoes. Pretty much the same thing all week. Got some sheet pans I sprayed down with a little bit of olive oil. Got some pretty decent sized sweet potatoes. Not really sure how many pounds. I'll usually weigh them all out once I'm done. The only kind of stuff I use actually as far as spices go is going to be cinnamon. Definitely use a lot of this guy here, extra virgin olive oil. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to chop up the potatoes, kind of dice them up, big chunks, put them in the bag. We're going to shake them up, put them on the sheet pan, bake them for an hour, and they're going to come out perfect. Alright people, so basically what we're looking for, kind of diced up just like that, you know, not too small. They don't need to be too big as long as they're somewhat uniform. And again, basically what we're going to do is take a gallon Ziploc bag. We're going to put some potatoes in it, a little bit of virgin olive oil, and a little bit of cinnamon. We're going to shake it up. Basically just kind of pour it out right here on these flat sheet trays that I've got sprayed down with a little bit of olive oil. I set the oven to about 375 and basically let it sit for about an hour. They come out nice and soft and they're freaking delicious. So like I said, I got some cut up here. I'll shake some up. Take another video before I put it in so you guys can see what it looks like before it goes in, and then we'll go from there. Alright people, so as you can see we got them diced up, got them all seasoned. Again, we just kind of put a little bit of cinnamon, olive oil, shake them up in a bag, spread them all out here onto the sheet pans. We're getting ready. We're going to put these guys in for about an hour. I'm actually going to set the temperature at 385 degrees. I like them a lot softer I guess than most people. Olive oil, obviously, it's a really good, you know, healthy fat. That's one of the main sources for my healthy fats besides something like that and maybe avocados. And also cinnamon. I love cinnamon. Cinnamon is, you know, it's going to make it taste kind of like a sweet potato pie. On top of that, cinnamon is also really good to help stabilize your glucose level. So on top of it being a complex carb, with the cinnamon, it's actually going to keep you, you know, feeling fuller a little bit longer. So anyway, so we're going to put these guys in the oven, again, 1 hour, 385 degrees, and like I said, that's my my carbohydrates for the meals. Alright, one more thing here. This is going to be our chicken, boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Let's see, I spent about $13, $1.99 a pound. I've trimmed it up and cut it into chunks. It's now marinating in something called mojo. It's kind of like a citrusy marinade, real cheap. It tastes really good. It does have a little bit of sodium in it, so you know, if you're looking to try to cut that sodium out, you may want to go with something different, maybe like a light Italian dressing, something like that. For me, I kind of like a little bit of sodium in my diet, keeps my muscles fuller. So again, I've marinated this. This is going to sit overnight. Again, there's the potatoes getting ready to go in, but definitely wanted to kind of check up on this and point this out, that this is something I do first. Get the chicken marinating, let it sit up overnight, and then get it in the oven first thing in the morning, which again we'll go over as soon as I put that in the morning as well. Right now we're waiting on the oven to preheat and get these little baby pans of potatoes in. Alright, so now that we got the sweet potatoes in the oven, what we're going to do now is we're going to start with our green beans. Basically just kind of snipping the ends of them, kind of prepping them up, getting ready to steam them here. Again, we're just kind of looking to get the focus here. More or less just want to get those ends off of them. There we go. Those guys right there. Kind of what we're looking for. That kind of stuff right there. So again, we're going to snip all these guys here. I got a pretty decent pile of them. We'll put them in the bowl afterwards, and then basically what we do is once I get them all clipped, we're going to put them in a steamer, and I'm going to steam them for maybe 2 to 3 minutes. I want them still nice and crunchy. I want them basically half raw. I don't want to cook all my nutrients out. I want them to hold up too as well in the refrigerator for a few days. That way then if I do happen to heat up my meals, which I don't normally do, they won't be really soggy or anything like that. You know, they'll actually still have a little bit of a crunch to them. Most of the time I do eat my food cold. And again, I don't like to cook my vegetables really that much. I just want to kind of almost blanch them, or al dente, I guess is what they call it. You know, you just want to kind of cook it just enough to kind of get it going. No more than... Alright people, so basically what we got here, I got 5 pounds of basically 93% lean ground turkey. I like to add a jar of jalapenos in it. I drain them. Then I've got 2 whole onions. They're cut up pretty thick because they're going to kind of, cook down a little bit once they get in there. The only other seasoning I may use is some garlic powder, some onion powder, and maybe black pepper. I do try to keep it pretty simple. Basically, we're going to put it all together just in this pot. Cook it up, cook it down. And again, this is going to be part of my protein. I mix this up with the chicken breast that I have marinating. The chicken breast actually is in the oven as we speak. So, again, chicken breast, I cooked that for about maybe 35 to 40 minutes or so at 385 degrees. But again, like I said, we're going to mix up the turkey, jalapenos, onions, and I think, again, we're going to probably put in a little bit of onion powder, and most likely probably a little bit of garlic powder, and a little bit of black pepper. And again, that's just going to go into the pot. We're going to cook that nice and low. Don't really want to get it too hot. Just kind of let it simmer, mix it up and things like that. And I'll check back in with you when I get everything start cooking. All right, one thing actually I did leave out. I do like to do a couple cans of diced tomatoes. I like this one here because it's spicy. It's got habaneros. Remember, the more spices that you get in your meals, the spicier the food. Believe it or not, it's going to kickstart that metabolism a little bit more, get you burning a little bit more fat. Here's what it looks like when it first gets started. Got my seasonings, my onions, my turkey, jalapenos, everything mixed in right there. And then again, I'm going to drain these guys, get as much liquid as I can out of it. And these are going to go right on top of it as well. I'm going to cover this. Again, I've got it basically on about a medium heat. Don't really want to go too high, and just continuously mix it up every few minutes, guys. All right. So we got our green beans, steamed 3 minutes. I've got 2 containers of these. They're sweet potatoes with their cinnamon olive oil. That's what our ground turkey looks like. Remember, we put jalapenos. We got onions, onion powder, garlic powder. And here's our baked chicken. Always use a scale. Different containers. Over the time, I've got a couple different sizes. So now we're going to basically just kind of start portioning things out little by little. Alright, so we're portioning out food. I like to do usually a half and half mixture of my chicken and my turkey. What I like to get to is 6 ounces. Right now we're looking at 5 3/4. So I'm going to grab a little bit more turkey. Kind of get it in there. And we're at 6 3/8. There we go, 6 ounces. Alright, so once I get my 6 ounces in here, then what we're going to do, we're going to add our sweet potatoes. Now when it comes to the sweet potatoes, right now I'm only doing 4 ounces of sweet potatoes. Normally I would do a little bit more if I'm trying to really put some size on. But I've got something coming up, so kind of trying to watch my carbohydrate intake. So I'm only doing 4 ounces per meal. So right there it puts 10 3/8. So we're going to pull a little bit out of there. There's 10 1/8. We're going to go one more here and see if we can get it right at 10. Ooh, almost there. Alright. We're going to call that close enough. There's 10 1/8. So basically what I do now, once I get this guy situated where I've got it 6 grams of protein and I've got 4 grams of the 6 ounces and 4 ounces. Then basically what I'm going to do, and yeah, I do use my hands sometimes. I don't really measure this out. I more or less just try to pack in as many greens as I possibly can into my meal. You're going to find that you can't eat enough greens. You just can't. This is probably the best thing. It doesn't really fill you out as much, but it's going to definitely give you the fiber that you need. And again, there you go. There's pretty much one of my finished meals right there. And I'm going to do that as many times as I can and try to fill up as many of these containers as I can and go through all this food. And we'll see what the finished product looks like when I'm done with all of it. Alright, well here it is, finished product. I'm 1 meal short of 5 days. So basically this is what I eat. I do a protein shake in the morning, so basically this is going to go on the end here. I'll do a protein shake here right as I wake up. Protein shake right after I get done working out, along with 4 ounces of sweet potatoes. Then I've got this will be meal number 3, 4, 5, 6, and then dinner time I usually eat something without any kind of carbohydrates, or I'll do another 2 of these cottage cheese is normally what I eat for dinner. So at least 6 times a day is what I'm looking at. Again, you know, protein shake would go here before I work out. Then after I work out, a protein shake combined with these sweet potatoes. Then I've got meal 3, 4, 5, 6, and then usually my 7th meal is going to be either regular food without any carbohydrates, or I'll do a couple of these guys here before I go to bed. Sometimes I'll do this and an extra meal, depends on how late I'm up till. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, right there, all prepped, ready to go. Minus 1 meal, so probably be doing either some eggs or some more cottage cheese, it looks like, this week. So that's it.